It is now, let's see if I can zoom out to get that in focus properly. 5:40 in the morning, 5:41 in the morning. My God, that's the first time I've ever seen the minute change on a digital timepiece of any kind. It's 5:41 in the morning, and I'm not particularly religious, but thank God McDonald's went 24 hours. Because if there was no 24 McDonald's, if they didn't open until 6:30 a.m. like it used to be, then I'd be in trouble right now. And this is what I look like at 5:40 in the morning. Got my spare sunglasses on because the usual black ones are basically mashed to bits. Oh yeah, this is the second floor, which is now non-smoking. This used to be the smoking floor until they redid the whole place a little less than a year ago. Thank God for that too, and I'm not even particularly religious. This is the first time in many years that I've gotten back home, back to Shimokitazawa at 5:41 in the morning. I think the last time I got back at this hour, I actually got back at about 6, and I sat around and waited for McDonald's to open at 6:30, and I actually saw Takenaka Naoto just walking along there. Oh, there used to be a video store there, but he was showing up for some sort of video shoot with a tiny crew and his manager or something like that. That was one of the half dozen times or so I've seen Takenaka Naoto in this neighborhood. And that one time was at about, 6:15 in the morning? But anyways, where was I last night? I went down to Yokohama, specifically Kannai Station, to B.B Street, the highest live house that I know of. It's on the 12th floor of a building. Most live houses are underground, but that one's on the 12th floor. Let's see, I went there to see Namaz, who are from Ibaraki, I think it is. During their talking bits, they go on about how they're country bumpkins. It's a lot of fun. By the way, it was entirely a metal event. So, Namaz. And who else did I see? Metal Safari, good. Funky Waltz, a metal band from Gifu Prefecture, of all places. Didn't even know they had loud music out there. Wouldn't have guessed it. And last up were Sunzol. And since Sunzol was up, of course the Nagoya Crowd Diver was in town. If you're in Nagoya and you ever go to see loud music and you see a girl who sort of looks like Gina Davis with really short pinkies, I'm not talking cut off like Yakuza or anything like that, but it's just naturally short pinkies, because when she does the metal sign, like her pinky's a little bit shorter than anyways. But she was there too. And so we saw the 4 bands there. And then she and the crew the usual Sunzol crew, somebody says, let's go to Shinjuku. So I'm like, okay. And so we go to Shinjuku. And we go to Shinjuku Marz. And who's up first but Jurassic Jade? Which is a pleasant coincidence or surprise. Jurassic Jade, if you search on YouTube, you'll find film of them from the 1980s. They've been around for a very long time. Last time I saw Jurassic Jade was actually playing with Sunzol and Meguro. Mod Studio was. Trust me, there's a very good reason I have these sunglasses on right now. Anyways, saw Jurassic Jade. It was a goth event, about as goth as you could possibly get. I mean, Jurassic Jade was the only band I knew, and the second band up, I forget the name, I'll try to look it up later, but I mean, They made Marilyn Manson look like a pop, basically. I mean, they had the makeup, they had the costumes, they had the burning book in the beginning. They had it all. They had a sword flying around. So after that, one of the Sun's Old crew had just about enough live houses for one night, so we all went to izakaya and basically killed time until first trains. And we all said our goodbyes, and the Nagoya crowd diver went off to look for souvenirs to take back to Nagoya. She had promised people Yokohama souvenirs, but she had been only in Yokohama for just barely long enough to go to B.B Street and come back to Tokyo. So she didn't have any Yokohama souvenirs, so she's out there right now looking for a souvenir shop that opens early so she can get a Shinkansen back to Nagoya. So that's a typical but not so typical Saturday night. First one in a long time I've come home this late, this early, however you want to put it. And I'm gonna eat my mega muffin before it gets cold. One more thing I just remembered. Coffee. Nagoya crowd diver told me that the members of Sun's somehow found my videos on YouTube of me sort of trying to play drums. Not the second one where I finally got it right, but the first one where I tried to use the click that was apparently not the exact same tempo as the song. I'm tempted to delete the thing, but I'll leave it up to motivate myself to practice and get better. That's the best way to respond to. I mean, this band Sun's they've toured Australia, for heaven's sakes. They've been out there. And they've seen my frickin' practice video. So, nothing for it but to practice and get better, which I haven't been doing enough of lately. The goth event at Shinjuku Marz, by the way, is called Dark Castle. And last night was volume 44, so they've been doing it for a while now. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the first foreigner to find it, because there were maybe a good dozen other foreigners there. There was one who had a really good get-up of Heath Ledger's, if I got his name right, Joker from the Dark Knight movie. I mean, he had the makeup spot on, perfect smile up his cheeks and so on. But yeah, Dark Castle. If you like, I don't know, I mean, I'm learning that there's more types of metal than I know the words for. What would it be called? Black metal? I'm not sure. I mean, what do you call it when they just cover their faces with makeup and set books on fire and so on? What do you call that? I mean, it's some sort of metal. Is it black metal? What is black metal? I wish I knew. Anyways.